Welcome to another edition of Selling Life and Annuities, where today we're going to talk about the fact that your riches are in niches. Hi everybody, I'm Randy Pierson, Vice President of Life and Annuities for Board and Marketing, and today with me I've got Tim Luby, our RVP in the annuity space. And I wanted to take some time to chat on this video with advisors out there and suggest to them that their riches might be in niches. And what are we talking about, Tim? We're talking about niche marketing. So when I say niche marketing, what's the first thing that comes to mind to you?
To me, it's kind of highly targeted marketing, targeting very specifically versus a shotgun, very broad approach.
Perfect. That's the response that I was looking for. It's targeted marketing, because what I find in chatting with agents in today's world, specifically in the life and annuity space, right? Because we're Gordon Marketing. We've got a lot of agents that work in the Medicare space, right? And that's a targeted market, right? Medicare. Agents develop a lot of knowledge, expertise in that space, and they leverage that into client acquisition and sales. But what I want to focus on more is life insurance agents or annuity agents building their clientele via niche marketing. And the first thing that I think about when I think of niche marketing is trying to focus on client acquisition within certain employment, occupation, specialties within consumers, right? So I was just telling Tim the story just a little while ago that when I first came into the business, there was an advisor that I worked with who was on our team, and he specialized in disability insurance, but not just the sale of disability insurance, but the sale of disability insurance to physicians. And it was a natural market for him. Why? Because his dad was a doc. His dad hung out with doctors. He grew up around physicians, so he's comfortable talking to physicians, and he had inroads to work with physicians at various hospitals and to do presentations. That was his niche, and he built an entire, very successful career around that. So if you thought about other occupation, what are some other occupations or areas that if an agent was out there thinking, man, I might be able to build something around that, what would you think of?
There's a few. The doctors' hospitals is a great example. And, the way it works, too, is referrals are so much stronger in that market. It's a very small, tight-knit community. And if a doctor tells another doctor, you got to see this guy, It has so much power. I often think of niche as, for example, like firemen and police folks. They have a very often retire with a lot of money from the state versus the federal government. And it's unique in how you can handle it, how you can get money out, what you're competing with. And for that market, people can specialize in that. And those people need to know that the advisor knows that market and understands the nuances of that. Yeah. And of course, the referral base for that is phenomenal. When somebody goes to referral, they know who they're going to go see.
They speak their language,
right?
They speak their language. But I love your example because it's the perfect extreme. A lot of agents, a lot of advisors would love to get into the doctor market, right? Because they tend to be more affluent. But you can build an equally successful practice around folks that don't necessarily work within occupations that are considered to be affluent.
Yeah, don't kid yourself, too, because some of these people, police and fire, retire very young with a lot of money.
Right.
It can be $1 million that these folks have, in their retirement plans.
Right. Well, and, speaking of $1 million, it's kind of like the millionaire next door syndrome, right? Software designers and engineers, right? Oftentimes aren't necessarily thought of as being rather affluent, but in today's world, trust me, they're making money, right?
Yep.
Engineers, architects. Folks who most agents would consider to be far more approachable than somebody in one of the professions, but they could build a really nice practice around them, right?